Good day, wonderful people. How are you guys doing? I'm sure you guys are having a wonderful day, like I am too right here. So, in our previous episode, we started a podcast on setting up a structure for the worship team and sound department in your church. We talked a lot about the decisions that were supposed to be taken by some people to set up a structure. We talked about implementing it, making it active, making it to be a working system, and taking it before the main church body. So this one, we will be talking about the monitoring setup for your worship centers. Those of you that have feedback, now this is when you have to pull your ears and listen very well. Put on your seatbelts, wear your helmet, tie your shoelaces, and let's get ready to roll. 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 You know, when you go to a church and the pastor is preaching and he's saying something like, "Can you guys hear me?" What he's saying is, he's not acting like, "Can you guys hear me?" He's saying that I don't have confidence in these monitors here. I don't know whether they are working or not, but can you hear me? Can you really hear my voice? Is my voice loud there? It shows the lack of confidence for your monitoring system. It means your monitoring system is not working well enough. So the pastor is not so confident with what he's hearing. That means everything you did there on the stage does not help him to minister very well because he's distracted. So there was a time I was with the minister. That was last year. I told her that they need to buy monitors for their stage, enough monitors for their stage. And she was like, "No, we don't need it." And I was like, what happened? And she was like, "Why do we need to spend so much money on the stage that what is the essence? That as long as the audience are hearing what they are hearing, why do we need to spend?" And I'm like, okay. So I think she noticed my weird silence. And she said, "So what difference is it going to make?" Okay, man, let me give you an illustration. I said, imagine you're trying to talk to somebody and your ears are not working. She said, "What is wrong with you? Why are you saying mine? Say, use somebody else." I said, "The feeling now you're feeling the same thing you create when you don't give them monitors." She was like, "Oh, wow." I said, exactly. The moment you take ears away from people, you take the monitors away from them. The moment the monitors have lost their tweeters or they don't work properly, that means the ears of the human beings are not working well. Maybe one ear is working or the other is not working well. That is as a result of bad monitoring. Very important that you take it as priority. You can imagine driving a car without a rear mirror and a side mirror. You know, you can be like, okay, you are driving in the front, you are seeing the front, but the moment you try to turn left or turn right, or you want to overtake without looking at the mirror, a car might be speeding very fast. It will just crash you, just hit you, bash you. It's going to knock you off the road, or probably you cause a serious accident. And also, how you place these monitors too are very important. It's just like when you have side mirror and rear mirrors and they are not seeing anything, you put them in such a way that you cannot even see anything. It's just as worse as that. And it can lead to accidents. So in order to avoid accidents, we need to look at all these things. I was running the PA for POP, Power of Praise 2019, some few months ago, and we had Mike Abdul come. I've already mixed for him before, so I understood what dominates his mix on the stage. So the venue we are using for the event was a church, and they didn't really have enough speakers necessary to attain that particular fidelity. So we had to rent speakers from somewhere, rent monitors. So I looked at the auditorium and I said, okay, this is what we're going to get. They had one pair of 15-inch monitors, which are active, which I don't like. So we had to rent one more pair of JBL monitors. And we rented a pair of JBL speakers, front of house speakers, full range speakers, and a pair of EAW subs. We rented a pair of JBL tops and EAW subs for the main house and rented a JBL monitor for the stage. Now, this was what I did. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where you have to listen to when I talk about how to arrange your sound. I'm coming from the world of music production where I mix live on my console. So I understand the fact of how you place keyboard, synths, lead vocals, backing vocals, all these things. I understand where they sit in the spectrum, in the listening experience of every human being listening to the song I mix. That was the idea I tried to simulate anytime I'm setting up monitors. And it has worked for me back to back. It has never failed me. In fact, when those guys are done, they always come to me like, what did you do? Now this is what I do. And I want you to pay attention to it. Now you see, the active speakers are small drivers, so they might not give me the depth of what I need. One thing I'm going to always suggest that they let your list be 15-inch of the woofers on your monitor, because the bigger it is, the more definition and low end you're going to get. The bigger it is, the farther you can stay away from it. The smaller the driver, the closer you must come. If you have a bigger woofer in your monitors, you can still stay some distance away from it. I had a 15 on my JBL monitor. It's like an old monitor, very heavy, like very heavy. On that monitor, all I had on that monitor was just Mike Abdul's vocals alone, nothing else. I put a little bit of keyboard there, but you really can't even hear the keyboard. It's just a feel sound for the keyboard, not as if it's hearing it that loud. Then the active monitors, I put only the backup vocals there, nothing else, not even the lead vocals, just the backup vocals. And now I had a side fill for the stage. Now it's that side fill that I put the keyboard, the talking drum, the bass. Now the reason why I put them on the side is because when you are listening to music, the lead vocal is always in a mono position, right straight in front of you. The vocals are always going to be by the side. So the JBL speakers that I said are for the lead vocalist alone was just right in front of him. It was facing him like maybe just few meters apart from the center. Now the monitors for the backup are taken to the edge of the stage. So it's like the monitors for the backups are farther away from the main monitor, which is for the lead vocals. So the backup can hear the lead vocal from that monitor, and the lead vocal can hear the backup from this side, so that it will not be distracting him. So you can so those things are just going to be coming to him in a form of ticklish spread. You get what I'm saying? So it's going to create a form of ambience, of as if you are listening to a performance through headphones. So as the side fill is giving them keyboard, they are not being distracted. Even if the side fill is so loud, they will still hear, because the monitors that are feeding them are not competing with any other instruments. Even if the side fills are too loud, they will still hear, because there's nothing competing with the space that the monitors are. When I did that, when the guy came on stage, he was like, check. He was wild. He looked around like, like what's going on? I can't believe. All the setup looked really small. Like it is really nothing. He wasn't really expecting much, because one of his sons in the Lord did a concert and he didn't really enjoy it like that. So he was telling me that, guy, you got to do this concert really, really well. So when he got to the stage, he loved the sound. He was even telling the guy that this sound is very, very nice. Like, it's very, very nice. He couldn't believe. He performed so much that he was dancing, he was moving. He didn't even want to leave the stage. He just kept performing until they told him that, you see, you have another performance at another place. You get what I'm saying? So all these things are about right placement. It's not just about getting. You might have the right monitors, but have a wrong placement. This is another way. You have a straight stage, so you want to run the monitors just horizontally straight in front of you. From the last edge, you have monitor for lead. The next one's going to be backup. Monitor for lead. Next one will be backup. Monitor for lead. Next one will be backup. So wherever the lead vocalist stands, if it stands in the center of any of them, is listening to both the lead vocal and the backup. So anywhere he goes, is listening to the lead vocal and the backup. So wherever the backup are, if they are standing in between one of the monitors, they are listening to the lead vocal and themselves. The idea of all these things is to create separation. Separation is a way of reducing a particular volume. So when there's separation, there will not be issues with this is louder than this, because you are hearing them at different angles. You get what I'm saying? So there are a lot of things that I got to pick for mixing records, but I apply into the monitoring world, which has really done wow for me. Which has really done a lot of benefit for me. So this tool that I just dropped for you is just two out of a lot that I know. So if you want to set up your church, you can always call me. We can work something around for you. We've talked about the backup, guys. Now let's go into the instrumentalist now. Let's pick the monitors for the keyboard. When you have your synths or your keyboards, you have it in front of you and you put the monitor in front of the keyboard. The keyboard will obviously be blocking the dispersion of the high frequencies, which gives you clarity and intangibility. So you don't want that in front of you. You want it by the side. Now, by the time you put it by the side, you need to put it on a stage, maybe on a riser, that will bring it so it's going to be almost on the level of your thigh. So by the time it's there, it is going to be very close to your ears that you will even be telling the engineer to drop the phone. But when it's on the floor here, it's far away from you. Normally you should be able to hear from the floor, but in order for you to attain much more clarity and much more intelligibility, you need to raise it up a little bit. So by the time you do that, it will be closer to your ears. So you tell them to reduce it, so you won't have to use a lot of volume to get to your ears. So that is what we do for keyboards. There are other systems here, but this is just one. So I'll be giving you one each for all this. So that's for the keyboard here. Now for the bass guitar, there's this event we do every year that my church is also involved in. So we did it at UI Conference Center. So the bassist was complaining that he can't hear himself, and I was also concerned that, okay, I had to go there. I had turned the entire volume, and he still keeps saying he couldn't hear. I said, okay, you know what? So I now walked around the combo, and I told him that he should come and stay in a particular position. When he said, the combo is too loud. It is where you stay or the placement of the combo that is the problem. Not that it is not loud enough. It is too loud, but it's not loud enough when you are in the wrong position. So positioning is very, very important. That is for the bass combos. Same thing with electric guitar. Most of our electric guitar stand vertically. I design stands for keyboard monitors, bass combos, and also electric guitar combos. Like just my personal design. There's a way I design risers for them that help you to lift them very high. We can talk about that at the cost. So you will have your electric guitar facing up, slanted facing up, so that the drivers can be thrown to your ears. So it has to be tilted so that it can be facing you up, as if it's thrown at you at an angle. So that's for the electric guitar. And for the drums, and one thing I know today about drums, if I have enough monitors, I give the drummer 2 monitors. That's for the monitors and the sub, maybe if an 18 or 20. Anyone that is available, I use it. Now, what I do basically is I have to understand the type of microphone I'm using. If I'm using a super cardioid microphone, it can't be slanted. It has to be like as if I'm putting my earphones side to side. But if it's a cardioid, I have to put it facing from the drums. It's going to be something that is going to be placed facing me, not by my side. It's going to be thrown to me. If it's super cardioid microphone, it's going to be at an angle of 180. If it's cardioid, it might be at an angle of maybe 60, 100, it varies like that. So all those things are few placement things that because of feedback, you have to place the microphone based on the polar pattern. For the percussionist, where you have talking drums, I always do something and it helps to clean up the sound. I always high pass the subs for percussionists on stage. Yeah, I always high pass it. Then I now use a shelf to boost it back up. I can even go as low as 80, but I'll now use the shelf to boost it back up so that I'll reduce all those sustained low frequencies. That's what the high pass is doing actually. Taking it out, I'm adding it back. So that's just that about the monitors. Now let's go about headphones. If you want to take it a step higher, you can go to either using a wireless system or using an headphone amp. For those of you that know, we have a lot of different types of headphone amps. So we have the Art Head Amp 6 Pro, we have the Presonus HP60, we have the Mackie HM800, we have the very popular Behringer HA8000 V2, and many lots like that. When it comes to wireless system, we have one of my best and my number one EW-IEM-G4 Twin. That's the Sennheiser. Then there's also another Sennheiser, which is EW300 2IEM-G3. That's the G3 version. Then we also have Shure PSM 300, we have Shure PSM 1000, we have the Galaxy Audio AS 1400 and AS 1100. We have Audio Technica M2, we have LD ME series. We have a lot. So all these things are based on your budget. You can mix the wireless and the wires together. The headphone amplifier has to do with the wired. IAM has to do with that's in-ear monitor. That has to do with the wireless system. So you can have a blend of the two based on the budget. So if you want to run an headphone amp, I built one for my church. But because there was no working structure, they just threw it away. They didn't use it. They didn't follow up on it. It takes discipline to make do with all these things, and it has to be done properly, or else they won't use it. Now there's a church I'm consulting for. That is what I'm working on for them. They want to reduce the amount of sound coming up from the stage, so we are getting their instrumentalist headphones, using headphone amps. So that's really going to help you to enter into the world of digital systems. So guys, this is where we're going to stop on this podcast on the monitoring setup for worship centers. There is a lot we can talk about, but this is just a few of what I just want to bring to your consciousness, that this and this are what we can achieve These are the things that you can do. So I know most of you are going to have questions. Most of you are going to maybe some people might be a little bit lost. So that's the reason why my number is there. You can always call me to ask questions. We can have a sit-down session. We can have a personal one-on-one conversation, a one-on-one training. So you can call me on my number on 07067942997. We're going to build something strong, something awesome, and something lasting for you. That you continue to pray for us. That this guy's the best. So thank you so much for your time. You can follow me on Instagram at AM Studio Nigeria, and also my personal Instagram handle is Additional Ayotunde 88, and on Facebook is Ayotunde Additional, and same thing on YouTube, Ayotunde Additional. You can chat me on WhatsApp on 07067942997. If you're not in Nigeria, you can put +234 then 7067942997. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Stay blessed.